I mean, I'm down. Like, I'll rock with you, but I'm gonna start dying after one.
I'm good. 10 o'clock. I'm good.
Let's get it.
Let's get it.
This is Eternal Underground Production. Support Rick. I know what it is, man.
I know what it is, man. I gotta get myself cranked up here. Come on, let's go. Gotta get fired up. Gotta bring the energy.
Now tuned in to the Hodge Podge Sports Show, where the picks on target, sharper than Katniss Everdeen with a crossbow. Before you place a bet, let's check with Patrick and Sean first. So let your aim is that holler your vibes. Check the stores right here. Forget the mother stations, we got you covered. Don't waste your time. Ain't no to straddle the fence. Now you can take a side with competition where you think a gazelle can take a lion. If you in opposition, just listen. It will change your mind. This is where you catch it right here. Every show a banger like Ray Lewis has the quarterback. I don't perform, you got a topic, or will it trust God? Don't come on here talking that nonsense and don't know nothing. No hesitation, you put in your place and the discussion. No sugarcoating over here, keep it 100. Got a question, we can come with the answer like Irish. Yeah. If you ain't know then, you know now just what time it is. Sean, repping the city of brotherly love. Philly stand up, Super Bowl 52 champions. In the building, make some noise for us. Cat got Charm City on his back, putting on for it like Cal Ripken Jr. back with the Orioles. And he's all rebound the dollar. It's now he's common skill. Follow it, shout out to you. Without you, this ain't possible. You rock, we rock with you. I love us, I love you. Much love to the fan base and follow the fan base. It's deeper than sports talk. It's something like family. Ever be more. Let's get you a crab cake. Or you in Philly say let's grab you a cheesesteak. Now run and tell the sports fanatics that you know online. Tune in every weekend when we going live. Tune in every weekend when we going live. I know what time it is, man. HBS time it is. Let's get it. Let's get it. You're tuned in. Support Reach. Cause sports breed passion. Ain't no better place to let it out than right here on HBS, where we never stop.
Yes, sir. Hodge Podge Sports Show, sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app, for the ultimate fan experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. Pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? What's up, Sean James Harrison?
Yeah. Oh, man, I'm living a dream every single day of my life. Still waiting to have a bad day. How you feeling?
I'm feeling all right. What's up, Danny Spaulding? How you feeling out there?
I'm all right. Just watching some football, Saturday. Got the college schedule going.
Yeah, you got lucky, man. You didn't want to see them Mountaineers. I understand. You was lucky for that postponement, weren't you?
Yeah,
that's you were scared. Yeah. You were scared of that Mountaineer D. You were scared of that Mountaineer D coming in and maybe getting an upset win. But look, why are we talking about that though? Hey, big shout out to my Mountaineers for winning the Bad Boy Mowers basketball tournament. 3 straight wins over powerhouse South Dakota State, the up and coming VCU Rams, and those pesky Western Kentucky Hilltoppers. 3 straight quality wins. Getting the Big 12 off. Getting the Big 12 off to a good start.
How about this? How about this? How about Penn State with their first win of the year? Shout out to them, my boys in blue. Sir. Thank you. We are in a lot of trouble still. It's all right. We are going to fire James Franklin. Oh.
Yeah, man. What's the kid that didn't play this year that opted out from Harrisburg? I can't think of his name right. The linebacker.
Are you talking about? Oh no, you're not talking about Hollywood Brown because he got hurt.
No. The linebacker. Oh my God. Micah Fitzpatrick, right?
Mika Fitzpatrick.
Yeah. Former future Dallas Cowboy, the way we trending. Man, but let's give props to Sarah Fuller, first female player in a Power 5 conference, getting the thank you, Micah Parsons. Thank you, Tony Rank. That's it. Micah Parsons. Sarah Fuller, first female in the Power 5 conference, getting in. Too bad Vanderbilt couldn't do anything for her to get a chance to get some points on the board. She did get a second half kickoff, and I don't know why they didn't let her pull it off. Yeah, they had her squib it. You see that? They didn't even let her kick it off, man. Look, but listen, Sarah Fuller, congratulations to you. Props. I mean, it's another first. You know, we on Monday night we had the first all African American officiating crew. Sarah Fuller, so big ups. No, man, I got to get right into that. Right. I got questions. I got concerns. I need Roger Goodell to call in. Raj, if you're listening to us, give us a call, man. 712-770-4160. Our pin is 576-041. You can hit up on Facebook. We'll send you the link if you want to come online with us. But we got questions for you. What we want to know is, how are you going to have a football team play a game without a starting quarterback? All 4 quarterbacks on the Denver Broncos roster have tested positive or come in contact with somebody with COVID-19. They have no available quarterback for tomorrow's game against the Saints. As I know right now, the Saints are doing what they're supposed to be doing, traveling to Denver, thinking the game's going to be played. You know, they send all their equipment out there and everything, but how does this happen? Then, Rogers, question number 2. How do you give the Ravens all this time to prepare for the Steelers by dragging out when they're going to play, right? Now, we understand, this goes back to the kind of conversation we had a couple weeks ago when we talked about starting players and faces of the league, right? So now you have Pittsburgh and Baltimore scheduled to play Tuesday, I believe, at 8 o'clock. So gives my sorry team a break because, you know, we're scheduled to play Baltimore Thursday night, right? So now, as it stands, we play more Monday at 5. Right? Not that it really matters. I mean, that's just like a home game for Baltimore at this point, right? But so, yeah, you got that? You like that one? Yeah. So now you have James Conner tested positive on the Steelers, and then another coach, right? So this is not getting better, right? This is not getting better. And if we go back to Denver did it to themselves. These guys were around people not wearing masks, right? Not adhering to the league mandate of wearing masks, right? So
whose fault's that?
I don't understand what's going on with the AFC West. That's on the player. It's on the player, right? You know what I mean? Like, at this point, you're responsible for your own decision, right? And now you're messing around with your team and then another team, right? Because I always worry about how teams don't get it when somebody comes up. Like Dallas played Minnesota, and after the game, you hear that Adam Thielen, he was placed on the COVID list, right? So it's the same thing, right? When Pittsburgh came to Dallas and they played, then they left. They had that tight end they knew. So Danny, this kind of goes back to what you said about college, about, and I don't know if you remember saying this, but about how you thought somebody in college would hide the results. It's definitely happening in the NFL. These NFL teams are definitely hiding the results, these test results of these players. Because you can't tell me that you're putting players on the COVID list on a Wednesday, but then are able to play a game on Sunday. So, like, what's the difference, right? So Ben Roethlisberger was put on the COVID list last week, right? But he was taken off so he could play the game on Sunday, right? So I think it happened to Baker Mayfield and them too. So are these guys just coming into contact with someone and possibly not testing positive, so that's why they're able to play? I believe that's the way it goes, right? So you're drawing this out with the Ravens. Ravens are all upset. They're blaming the strength and conditioning coach, right? You know, saying that he didn't follow procedures, he didn't let them know, he brought it in, blah 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 blah, right? But now all these players, and now you get the news that Lamar Jackson is positive, right? So speedy recovery to him, first of all, right? Because, you know, I've known people to come in contact with us, and everybody I've known so far, God willing, has come through on the other side, right? But it has no fear, right? It doesn't matter how old, how young, how fit, how unfit you are, right? If it's coming for you, it's going to get you. And whether you choose to wear a mask or not, that's your personal choice. I'm just going to leave that there. But I just don't understand why the NFL is still going. And Danny, you made a nice comment in the post, because Sean, the NFL is shutting down all team facilities on Monday and Tuesday. All team facilities are shut down.
Well,
now, isn't it kind of funny they're
shut
doing
down
it
already?
Santa Clara has come out and said there will be no sports,
Yeah.
College, pro, taking place in the next 3 to 4 weeks.
San Fran trying to find a home.
49. I believe the 49ers. Yeah, they have 2 games in right. So I just Raj. I mean, I'm waiting for you. Like, I don't need to give you the backdoor number, Raj. This number is strictly for you, man. It's scrolling on the bottom. Just give us a call, man. Explain to us how the NFL is operating. Just explain to us that it's about the TV revenue, whatever that is, right? Because there's barely fans coming to these stadiums, right? I think I don't even know how many games. I mean, when we do an NFL pick'em segment just later in the show, I don't even know if you're going to have games for us to pick. Like,
it's funny because remember on do you remember on what was it Thursday on Thanksgiving? I texted you and was like, "Yo, that Pittsburgh game's off the pick'em list," and I was like, and you're like, maybe they know something we don't know, and that was like the first inkling for me that the game wasn't going to happen. So I'm like looking at it because as soon as I saw Lamar was out, I was like, all right, because Logan picked Baltimore to win, and I told him Lamar was out. He's like, well, switch it to Pittsburgh for me. So I went on to do it. And I was like, well, buddy, the game's just gone. It's not there no more. And, I agree with a lot of what you said there, but I'm going to try to break it down situationally. Denver, for instance, that's their fault. I'm not going to sit here and I don't even know who they're playing this week off the top of my head, but whoever they're playing this week, why? Who are they playing?
Yeah. The Saints.
Saints. Okay, they're playing the Saints. Why am I going to sit here and am I going to punish the Saints because Denver couldn't do what they were supposed to do? And the same can be said for Pittsburgh, and that's why I'm against that. So this is classic what Goodell does, right? He shows his hand one way and then does the opposite, another situation. And this is what he's been known to do for such a long time. This is why people put the Goodell clown face on, and he gets made fun of so frequently about all this stuff because it's the way he handles situations such as this. How are you gonna cancel the Saints, the Pittsburgh-Baltimore game? Because let's be real, you canceled it because Lamar Jackson. Because you weren't canceling that game prior. All of a sudden, Lamar Jackson got it. You canceled it. But up-and-comer Drew Lock got it, who may be something in the league. We're not really sure yet. He looks like maybe he's got something. We can go without him. Oh, wait, 3 more of their quarterbacks got it? Let them figure it out. That's on them. But why isn't Baltimore being held that same standard? If they saw that trainer wasn't wearing a mask when he was walking around the facility, when it is a mandatory thing to do in any building, then he needed to leave. Just like I'm going to get kicked out of a building, or you're going to get kicked out of a building, or Danny's going to get kicked out of a building if we walk in and we're not wearing a mask, he needs to kindly leave or put the mask on. And sorry, I don't care. You don't want to get into it, I will. Wearing a mask isn't like a civic duty. It's not. It's a common courtesy. Put the damn thing on. Listen, I'm a severe asthmatic. All right? You're going to sit here and say you can't breathe. It's not hard to breathe through the things. Get a breathable one. They make so many. It's really, and then I love the ones too that people will hold the water bottle up and try to squirt through it and be like, first off, I don't know how many times, or they'll get the hose, put the hose up to the mask. What kind of idiot thinks that, one, your mouth's going to propel that much water out at one time, or two, that you just wear the same mask over and over again? All right, we're getting a little political here, and I apologize. I'm going to bring us back now. We're gonna come back, and yeah, man, it's like I said. I think if Goodell wants to make every situation, if he wants to try to be the GM that the NBA one is, and I'm drawing a blank on his name. I keep wanting to say Stern, and it's not Stern. Yeah, see, you said you said Stern too. I had Stern in my head. If Goodell wants to be a quarter or a half of the GM that Silver is, then he needs to like know that, okay, we pushed back the Patriots Saints game, or I'm sorry, the Steelers Ravens game, then we need to push back the Saints-Denver game in order to make it fair. Or we have to make both teams play. You need to be on one side, and you need to stay to that one side. And here's another thing, too. You're in week 12. The season's about winding down, coming to an end. I'm not sure if you're thinking bubble, but you better get in one quick.
They really should think about having those playoffs, and that was kind of how the MLB did. MLB ended up doing a nice job with taking them those couple sites and playing the series there and having them. I think that's what they need to be doing for the playoffs. Place it, because you're not going to have fans, so it's not like it's going to be an advantage for someone, right? They got to figure something out. But it's just like, who wants to see 18 weeks now? Like, not they were talking about 18 weeks. They were talking about maybe putting an extra playoff team in. At some point, man, I guess we just haven't seen the face of the NFL come down positive yet, right? I don't know who that face is, but we haven't seen that guy yet.
Let's say who's the face right now.
Because that's what I mean. So like whenever, maybe it has to be him. Any quarterback is a pretty big name, but I mean, like maybe then that's when they'll come up with some kind of contingency plan or something like that. But it's just been a horrible season.
Yeah,
the quality of football has been good, but the amount of injuries, and I'm talking serious injuries to guys this year are just beyond me. Like, I guess to me, if you could potentially add a week 18, then there was no reason to why they couldn't have had preseason. And I don't mean that they actually had to play preseason games, but they could have still taken time frame to get everybody up to speed. They could have did the full training camp, the mini camps and all that. They could have just kept pushing things back. They could have amended that way to have it like this. And then you probably also, and I know you and I said this from the beginning, I thought it was a mistake not having preseason, because you would have had a better gauge on how to deal with what we're dealing with now, right? Play a game, somebody comes down positive, then you would have had a better situation. You would have had a better feel or more data to make better decisions moving forward. Because now everything is just on the fly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's just kind of comical with that. So as we talk about NFL level, let's get to the NCAA level, because this is where I want Danny to speak, because when we saw the college football playoff projections come out, those rankings were just crazy to me. But Danny made a comment, and I don't think a lot of people caught the comment, right? And I remember it. So Danny, if I misspeak, please correct me, but I believe it was college football playoffs are crazy. We may have a team with 5 wins in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's possible. Because this year, the committee said that they aren't going to really set a minimum number of wins to make a team eligible for the playoffs. So you got a team like Ohio State, they can go undefeated, but they're undefeated. They might only have 5 or 6 wins on the record.
And all they've beaten is Indiana. And all they've beaten was Indiana. Dude, I'm sorry. Like, I'm looking at it right now, and like, because they play 4 games. They don't play another game till December 5th. That's next Saturday. And I'm like looking at it, and just to be real, I said that Notre Dame and Clemson, I'm on record saying I think they're both going to make the playoffs. I'm standing behind that. They're 2-3 right now. But I just, again, I've said I cannot believe that Texas A&M, who's beating LSU right now, is not ahead of OSU. The fact of just, if you just look at who Texas A&M has beaten so far, I mean, just beating Florida alone is better than any win that Ohio State has.
I think what you'll see, and Danny, you can chime in on this. Please do. I think what's the score? What's the score of the Texas A&M game? Last I saw was 10-0.
I
What's
think
the
it's
score now?
still 10-0. I mean, it's 13-0.
You're right.
13-0.
13-0.
If Tennessee puts it on LSU, which it seems like they might. They can run it up a little bit. I think you're gonna see. OSU drop down. I think that Florida and Texas A&M are going to jump up, and OSU will come down to 6.
What about Cincinnati?
Because listen, let's just worry about these top 6 right now.
Listen, I feel you, bro, but I'm just like looking at it. Here's my.
I'm not trying to or dismiss you. What I'm just trying to say is that I think that what you said last week may come more to fruition now this week than what it was last week, because it's telling to me that they already have Clemson ahead of OSU. Clemson lost, right? So they're already ranked ahead of OSU. So there's no reason that I believe Florida is going to jump OSU this week already. Like I think Florida is going to be 4 this week coming up this week, and I think OSU is going to be 5. And I think if Texas A&M can put it on LSU, because that's still a quality win, right? Because it's LSU, right? So they're going to jump up. But see, here's the thing that kills me. I just don't understand how BYU is like 18. Like, forget Cincinnati. How do we have BYU down at 18 in the playoffs?
Because they're not a power. They're not in a Power 5 conference, so they're not ever going to get the respect they deserve. Plain and simple. But I listen. Listen, man, I'm not the committee. What you want from me? I'm just an average Joe like you that has a beard. You know, if you feel me? I understand. Listen, I understand what you're saying, because we always say you can't control who you play. But in college is one of the few college is one of the few places where you can control where you play, because you're the one that sets out like requests to play to other teams and get on schedules and whatnot. And we went through this whole thing with UCF where we said UCF's undefeated and then everybody said, well, they don't play nobody. Then UCF started playing, other ranked schools that were actually Power 5, and they started losing. Well, they also lost, their coach and whatnot. But that's a whole different story, whole different day. My question to you, actually, because you just said you think Florida jumps OSU, but my question: if Florida jumps OSU, where does Texas A&M go if Alabama's 1, Notre Dame's 2, Clemson's 3? Unless you think Notre Dame or Clemson drop.
No, it's going to be Florida 4. Yeah, Texas A&M is going to be 5. I'm saying OSU is going to be 6.
But it's okay. But
Florida and Texas A&M,
it's going to be tough, dude. With Texas A&M holding a victory over Florida, you're still putting A&M under Florida?
Florida's already ahead of them, right? In Florida, who's 5? Maybe I got it backwards.
No, you got it backwards. A&M's 5.
Oh, I'm sorry. Then A&M. I'm sorry. They both move up. They both move up, and OSU is going to be 6.
All right, because you had me like
A&M will be 4. I'm sorry. Yeah. I was thinking that Florida was already ahead of A&M. My bad. Yeah. So A&M is going to be 4. Florida's going to be 5, and OSU is going to be 6.
So I got a follow-up question that's related to OSU for both of you, and I'm going to sit back and listen to you two debate this. I know the answer, and I know how I feel about it, but I don't want you guys to answer this from your point of view. I want you to answer this from the committee's point of view. Is Justin Fields completely eliminated from the Heisman?
No.
I want to hear Danny. I want to hear Danny too.
He's not completely eliminated from it, but I really don't think it matters. I think Kyle Trask is running away with it at this point, or the kid from BYU. I think there's so many other candidates that deserve it as much as Justin Fields. So I don't think he's completely eliminated. Because we had this conversation about Trevor Lawrence. Once he comes back and he's able to play, if they're able to finish out the season, there's no way you would give the Heisman to Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence. No way. Not any way, shape, or form. So I really don't see how either one of them can catch Kyle Trask at this point. Danny?
I don't think it's Trask running away with it. Kid from Alabama, he's right up there with Trask to me. I got to watch him play that. He's pretty damn good. But I think it's what's his name, Matt Jones or something like that. Matt Jones.
Yes.
And him and Trask right now at 1 and 2. And you can probably switch it. Trask at 1, Jones at 2, or Jones at 1, Trask at 2. It doesn't matter to me.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're right there. I think those two are an automatic invite to New York,
Mm-hmm.
and then you can probably argue about 3. I don't think Fields is 3. I don't think he's shown enough this year to really show or to say that he's a Heisman candidate. He's good, but I don't think he's having the last year.
He's not.
And the Indiana game
That hurt him.
like 3 or 4 turnovers.
Yeah, that hurt him right there.
Especially
That hurt him.
Yeah, and I mean, when you're only having 5 games to play in the season, you can't afford those type of mistakes to be like eligible for Heisman consideration to me.
Right.
Like you have to be perfect every game if you're only going to play 5 games. And I mean, technically, that's not really their fault per se.
No, but it is.
I think that came to this one because the other team had COVID issues. But it's one of those things where you just have to play as perfect as you can because you have limited
Opportunity.
chances to show your skills. And I don't think he's chances. Not enough to compete with Trask or Jones.
Yeah.
Or even,
All right, so I got
even Lawrence.
Yeah, I'm not sure we answered it in the manner that you had asked it, Sean. I think we went.
You guys
more
rarely
off
do.
his ability. I think. Yeah, and I think you were asking him more on because of 5 games. Is he automatically eliminated because of 5 games? I'm gonna say no. Yeah, I'm gonna say no, but I think he should be. To answer your question,
So
I'm gonna say no, he won't be, but I think.
So out of all the quarterbacks that you guys see out there right now, the Lawrences, the Trasks, the kid from BYU, Justin Fields, because I've openly said I don't really watch a lot of college football. I'll turn it on and watch it when it's on, but I don't. If it's not Penn State, the chances of me actually sitting down and watching the whole game are very rare. Which one of these guys are going to make the easiest transition? Because the Heisman doesn't always make that transition the easiest. We see that every year.
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Trevor Lawrence. I think because Clemson runs a pro offense. I mean, you look at some of the kids that come out there. I mean, look at Deshaun Watson. He transferred. His skills transferred pretty well. Let me ask you this, right? When's the last time an Ohio State quarterback transferred well to the NFL? I'm just gonna leave it there. I'll let Danny. I'll let Danny go.
Yeah, I can't really think of the last time an Ohio State quarterback was well in the NFL.
Right.
That's hard to say off the top of my head. I don't know. But I agree with you. I think I think he's been at it the longest.
Yeah.
Trask, 2 years this year.
Michael Shane Martin said none of them.
Yeah.
Bob Hoying.
I don't know.
Dude, they have horrible quarterbacks that enter the league. Oh my God, I never looked at this before. Oh my God, this is just not good for them.
I can give you some of the names, man. We can go back to Troy Smith. We can go
just looking at him.
We can go Braxton Miller.
Yep. Terrell Pryor.
What's the kid that turned? Yeah, that's it. Pryor turned the receiver, right? Haskins, right? I mean, listen, if we're going back, Troy Smith is going back a ways. And I think he won a Heisman.
He won the Heisman in 2006.
Yep.
2006, he won the 2006, he won the Heisman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you, so I don't have any faith in the quarterback coming out. I just don't. I think Haskins, another kid, Cordell
Patterson.
No, that's the receiver.
He's in Cardell Jones.
Cardell Jones, yeah. I don't even know if he's in the league right now. Yeah. And
No,
and
he went to the XFL.
Yeah, and let me tell you something. He probably had the best skills out of all of them. Out of all the ones that we listed, he was probably the best one, but he messed up by coming out. Like he should have stayed.
That's rough.
That's rough. Yeah, he should have stayed. But I think Trevor Lawrence is going to be a lot like Justin Herbert, like with the way he plays, because Trevor Lawrence can run a little bit too. Not that you want him running, but I think he can run. But then again, Sean, to be fair on that question too, I think all of them will transfer well. I don't think Fields will transfer well, but like anything, it's really going to depend on where they end up. Because Trevor Lawrence by far is the best, but if he's on the Jets, is he really gonna is he gonna have a chance to show what he has on the Jets? You know what I mean? Like, bro, I got a segue for you. Somewhere else. Go ahead.
So listen,
I'm just saying, like one of those guys can go to and be better because of the situation.
I feel you, but I mean, if Trevor Lawrence is going to the Jets and Adam Gase is still there, he might not ever proceed.
He can't be there. That infuriates me so much.
Listen, man, we saw Matt Patricia got fired today.
I'm getting ready to tell you. I'm getting ready to say Adam Gase having a job is equivalent to Matt Patricia still having a job up until the day. I just don't understand how Adam Gase can still have a job. I don't understand how Adam Gase even got another job. And I say that not only because of what he's done with the Jets, but think about the way he left the Dolphins. There are so many players that don't like this man personally, right? Forget the coaching aspect of it, right? Multitude of players you've never heard of, star players, all pro players, do not like this man. There is something wrong with that man, right? That man himself. The way he carries himself is odd, right? He has to have new pictures on the owner, somebody. He doesn't have any ties to Joe Douglas. So maybe Joe just like, hey, look, let's just ride it out. At the end of this year, bro, you're going. We got to start fresh, right? Because I got to tell you, wasting Sam Darnold's talent for now coming up on 4 years, not being able to keep him healthy is a shame because that kid is ultra talented. And that's somebody that might get lost in the shuffle and get sent somewhere else, and then he'll blow up. And then Trevor Lawrence will come in and have a chance to shine or not shine or whatever it's going to be. You know, we know that these young quarterbacks need stability. We know that, right? And I've always said that the best recipe for these guys is to be able to be somewhere where they can sit and watch and then come in and play. But look at Tua, right? Tua stopped like the first 6-7 weeks. He came in, did okay. He couldn't do anything. He got benched. Now he's hurt. And now he might not start Sunday. You know, we're all pretty high on that guy.
He's not starting Sunday. He is not starting tomorrow. He is out.
Yeah, he's out, right? So there we go. So you know what I mean? It really don't fit. You know what I mean? It's kind of fun as we talk about that. The Hodge Podge Sports Show is sponsored by Arena Eats. Log on to the website, arenaeats.app, for the ultimate experience at your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. You can pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? That's really good talk because so we saw Matt Patricia and the GM there got the axe. We assume that Adam Gase is going to get fired, right? I think Mike McCarthy's job is now in jeopardy in Dallas. I think Doug Peterson's in jeopardy. I think Anthony Lynn, unfairly or fairly, I think his job's in jeopardy out there in LA. Right? I think Mike Zimmer, even though I know the Vikings love him and things like that, he was on the hot seat last year. I think if they continue to slide down, he's on the hot seat. I think Matt LaFleur, right? Or is it Nagy? Who coaches the Bears?
Nagy.
I don't want to get him
Nagy.
wrong.
It's Nagy. LaFleur's the Packers.
Yeah, Nagy's on the hot seat. We know Houston's going to have a job opening. I hate to say it, man, but depending on how Baltimore finish, I think Harbaugh his seat can start getting a little warm too, right?
Yeah.
So that's a pretty good list of some good coaches right there. And I'm gonna
I'll
say
tell you
this to
what.
you: I don't like to see anybody lose their jobs, right? But I think the NFC East is going to be looking for 2 new head coaches come next year.
I disagree. I think I don't think I think Mike McCarthy is going to get a first year grace where he's not going to get fired. They're going to give him another year. Dak was hurt. He can easily throw the my franchise quarterback was hurt all year card down. He can easily throw that card down and say, I on top of losing my franchise quarterback, the backup you guys signed for me was out for 3 weeks. That put me in a hole. I mean, that's an easy card for him to play and just say, let me turn it around this year. But you guys got to work out Dak's deal. I need him here long term. This Dak getting hurt and this happening to the Cowboys, to them playing so poorly, was the best thing to ever happen to him. It's financially wise, because his tag, he's sitting at home right now with his leg up, looking at it, going, "I'm about to get paid now. Y'all see what you are without me.
Oh yeah,
now you know what you need."
Oh yeah.
So I think McCarthy's going to swiggle away.
It's kind of fun.
Go ahead. I'll make my next point after you're done. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, I'll go ahead because I'll come back to him. I can circle back.
All right. I was gonna flip to the Eagles with Dougie P. Dougie P isn't going anywhere this year. At the end of this year, I don't believe it's going to happen because he still has that Super Bowl immunity. Right? Every team usually, after a coach wins a Super Bowl, it's a quote unquote 5-year grace period. We've seen that Howie Roseman, we've watched now for years. And I say this all the time. Go to 2016 when Carson Wentz was drafted and Zach Ertz was drafted. Same draft. Take that draft away. Scrap it, throw it away. I'm sorry. Carson Wentz and Zach Ertz weren't drafted the same thing. The Carson Wentz draft, take that draft and throw it away. Go from then on, way after he was drafted. Okay? The drafts have been horrible. They've been so bad to the point that in 2018, when you had players like Chris Carson, Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, and there was like 12 other starting running backs in the league right now. I think Nick Chubb came out that year. Like 12, Kareem Hunt came out that year. All these starting running backs in the league came out that year, and you needed a running back really bad. There was LeGarrette Blount. It was right after the Super Bowl year. LeGarrette Blount just left you. Jay Ajayi was running like Forrest Gump. So you needed a running back, and you needed one bad. You've got Donnell Pumphrey. He ain't even in the league no more. All right? And we can look at the rest of that draft you guys really wanted. It was Sidney Jones. Not on the team no more. Rasul Douglas, not on the team no more. The only player on the team from that draft is Nate Gary. And if y'all see Nate Gary play, he shouldn't be in the league. He should be begging. He should be putting my tree up that I had to put up today. That dude can't play. He just can't play. So then on top of now this is how he compounds it, okay? So then on top of making horrible draft picks, and we've seen the J.J. Arcega-Whitesides, and now unfortunately Jalen Reagor's going to get lumped into that because of how well Justin Jefferson's playing. But just remember, we drafted J.J. Arcega-Whiteside over DK Metcalf. Gotta love the Eagles. So he compounds it, right? He does all these bad drafts. Then on top of all these bad drafts that he does over years and years and years and years, he gives Alshon Jeffrey a horrible deal where we can't even get rid of him. He signs Jason Peters, who is 97 years old and can't block me. He signs hamstring Jackson. I'm sorry, Deshaun Jackson. Can't pay healthy for a quarter. I mean, he instead of injecting youth into this team, sprinkled him with not even mid-level aged free agents. You got the oldest free agents you could find to bring into this team. Outside of Marquise Goodwin, I can't hate you for that one yet. He opted out for the year. I can't say anything bad about that one because I don't know, but he's been hurt almost his entire career. So, I mean, you could have just signed an injured player for all I know. But he just continuously compounds a bad situation and makes it worse. So I think the person that's going to get fired in Philadelphia is going to be Howie Roseman. I don't think Doug's going to get fired. You're going to see Howie get fired. Jim Schwartz is going to get fired. And you'll see a couple other mid-level coaches get fired. Dougie P will still be here next year. And he'll still be the snippiest press conference guy you've ever seen that thinks he's better than everybody else. And I got to thank Andy Reid for teaching him that so much. Because there's nothing I love more when he's asked a direct question. Listen, I'm not sure if you've ever seen any of his interviews, but we got a local writer here named Jeff McClain. And whenever Jeff McClain asks him a question, in so many words, he tells them to kick rocks. Every time.
I heard an answer he gave the other day.
Which one?
I heard an answer that he gave the other day about who's going to be a starting quarterback. So I heard everything that you said, and I also see the report that Jeffrey Lee didn't fly with the team to go with the team to Cleveland because he's fired up with it. I've also heard that Jeffrey Lurie is like, everybody's on the hot seat. I'm thinking about blowing everybody up. Those are his words, right? That's confirmed report, right? So I'm gonna say it like this: I try to keep tabs on my division, the rivals, as best I can. Here's what I know: somebody's not gonna be there next year. Carson Wentz or Doug Peterson. They're both not coming back next year. Somebody's gotta go. It's not gonna be the franchise quarterback. And I appreciate everything you said about Doug Peterson winning the Super Bowl and getting that immunity. But here's the thing: like it or not, his franchise quarterback, didn't get them to the Super Bowl. He had something to do with them getting to the playoffs, but he didn't get to the Super Bowl. He has regressed each year. He hasn't gotten better. And all that is not on him. We know that. He's facing some challenges with not having talent surrounded by him, but so are other quarterbacks. The thing that worries me about Carson Wentz is decision making. This guy has 14 interceptions and 4 fumbles. His decision making falls on him. Everything else around him, we have to give him some slack, right? No receivers, horrible offensive line, but he's responsible for those turnovers. He has to own that. He has to get better there. The one thing that I will give him credit for up to this point, at least he stayed healthy, because we know what he can do, where he at least should be, and we can chalk it up to COVID because I'm doing that for about pretty much everyone. But I just think that and maybe you're right. Maybe it's the other way. They fire everyone else and leave them to, and then start anew. Because what I do know, and some of the reasons problem with his offense is that Doug Peterson has too many offensive guys on the staff, and he's not taking control of that. He's letting everybody get their input, and he's calling plays for everyone. That's why you don't see your offense looking so smooth week to week to week. And I just, that's kind of weird. The guy coming from West Coast offense and coming from the tree that he came through, that he's like, let all these boys get in. And then it's clear that Carson Wentz can't get out of his head. He's hearing things. I don't want to say he's seeing ghosts, things like that, but he just can't get out of his own way. Because even as is decimated by injury as they are, they should still be the best team in the division. Goal, like, because their defense, they still have a great defensive line. They still have enough offensive pieces. To me, they don't run the ball enough, right? You got to let Miles Sanders and that little Scott dude run. Like, you just got to let it happen. But now going back to Mike McCarthy, I would have been with you up until Thursday, up until the Thanksgiving game. I would have been with you that they were going to give him the 1 year. I can't give him the Dak card because he never really fully came out and embraced Dak as his quarterback when he got there. So for him to try to play that card is a little lame, but you're still running out the defense that could be historically the worst defense in the NFL. It's going to be the historically worst defense in Cowboy history. Now you're playing around with it being the worst in NFL. They had 14 players on the field. You had 2 players running, one diving to get off the field. Okay? I'm watching him letting his spectator call a fake point where the guy running the ball has to run further to get the ball than he does to get the first down. Okay, I'm watching him letting his offensive play caller, when he decides to go for it on 4th and 1, throw a pass to CeeDee Lamb, handing the ball off the seat collar for a 1 yard or 6-inch gain. Okay, so the pass he gets is gone. His decision making has taken away that pass. And you're the head coach. You're not the offensive coordinator. You're not the defensive coordinator. Those are two positions that fall directly underneath you that you can control. He refused to bring in talent, right? As bad as this team is, right? Bad as this team is, and we know they're bad, okay? They were pretty much giving up on games. They don't like the defensive coordinator. They're fighting or whatever. You still refuse to bring in a guy like Earl Thomas because what he might do to your locker room when he's just sitting out there, when you're in the worst division in football and all it takes is a couple wins to get you a playoff game, and you refuse to make changes to your roster. If you can't take over play calling duty, if you can't fire your defensive coordinator because he's your boy, then you need to go. That's my point there. Like, then you need to go.
I feel you, man.
Listen, they still have so much talent on the side of the ball, right? You still have 3 pretty good receivers. You have 2 decent running backs. We have to say this year Zeke is decent, right? Because he's not great. He ain't good. He's decent, right? This year. But I understand your whole offensive line at this point is gone. But it's your job to coach those other guys up and get them ready to play. NFL, listen, everybody's injured, right? You're not injured any more than the next team, right?
Mm-hmm.
At this point. So if you can't get your team to play and give effort or be ready to play every week, then that's you. We say that all the time, right? That's one thing the coaches can control is the way their team comes out, the way they prepare, and the effort they give. If these guys look at what they did on Thursday, man. Like, they just let Antonio Gibson just run right down the middle of the field.
Bro.
Was anybody chasing him at that point in the game?
Here's listen. I gotta listen. You guys have the worst defense in the league, undoubtedly. But that 4th and 10, like your defense has been playing well the entire game. Your team has been playing well. It's 2016. You're 4 points off. It's not out of reach. You guys are playing well. 4th and 10. You're going for it, and it's not even on their side of the field. You're at the 25, and I'm like, and so like, what is like listen, and this is what I've been complaining about. This is what I've been complaining about all year with Doug going for 2, and all this crap that he does all year. Is that what that does when a defense is on the sideline after like, oh yeah, we just got a big turnover, like go get it, boys, and then the very next play your offense just gives it back to them. That's deflating. Yeah. Your defense looks at that like, what the hell did I just do? Because didn't Jalen Smith, he just had a pick 6 2 plays before that, or he was tackled at the 2 or whatever it was, like shortly before that. Like, that's deflating. It's hard to see.
You lost yards on the next 2 plays. I'm like, you ran a beautiful play against the Vikings to win that game. Where's that play at? Right?
Yeah.
I don't understand how you get inside the 5 and you're not giving the ball to Zeke. I just don't get it. I don't care how bad he's running or how much daylight he's not getting. You run that. You give it to him 4 times, he's going to get you 4 yards.
The ball that Dalton put on CD, he should have caught that ball.
He had to catch it. It was perfect.
That was a great ball by Dalton. And CD CD dropped it because he caught it here, and as he was bringing it down, he lost it from the transfer down to his body. And I saw that. I was like, oh, that sucks. That was like a really good play for Dalton. And that would have like brought the team back up. Like it would have made your defense not feel like they just wasted their time. And that's the thing is like when I'm complaining, when me and my boy Kevin talk about this all the time with Doug Pederson is we don't think that he shouldn't be fired. We just don't think he is going to be fired because we want him to be fired because his play calling has just been so bad all year that it's like I tell Kev, like I go into the games, like I'm not sure. I think I told Tony this too. It's like I go into these games with like no expectation, and it's like it's not even enjoyable, man. It's like it's not even fun. Like I get pissed off watching it, and I wound up shutting the crap off, or I watch something else because like what like I get so irritated watching because like I'm watching something and I'm like thinking it's so elementary, like. Why is this so hard?
Yeah.
Like for me, like here's like I posted that stat on Carson last week after the loss to the Browns about the rollouts, and I had that long post about how bad play calling is. If you have a guy that rolls out and is very good at rolling out and very good at throwing while he is on the run, why the hell would you only have one designed run? What sense does that make?
Because these guys think they're smarter because they think they're smarter than everyone. It's just like when teams are running the ball. Well, any team, they get to a 3rd and 1, they go to the pistol or the shotgun, and they want to throw the ball. Like, yeah, like it should just boggle my mind, man. And this is every team that I watch. I'm like, yo, we can't run the ball for a yard, or we can't run the ball for 2 yards now. I mean, it's like it's killing me. Every Cowboy I'm watching, I'm like, why do we not run a? Why do we not throw a running back screen? Like, why are we not throwing screen passes? Like, so but that's my feeling on McCarthy because of the decision making, and they clearly let it be his team. Like, this is 1 year that Joneses have stayed out of things, and they let this man run this team, and this is what we get. And I'm not talking about record wise. I'm talking about decision, effort, all these things. And
you're done when your team gives up on a coach.
Yeah, but and he compounds it by defending it. Like he actually defended the fake punt. And it's like if you would have said to me that the kid had the option of throwing it or running it, so be it. Because if the guy got open, but it was a you go back and watch play. As soon as he got the ball, Joe Buck's like, oh, he's got a long way to go. He's got a longer way to get to the line of scrimmage than he did to get. That's the thing, man. It's like, and then like you said, they're down to 4. They run it from the shotgun, right? The run RPO.
I hate that run from the shotgun.
It's 2 yards. Next play, right? The next play they come back with a reverse, and it's like, and you lost more yards. I'm like, Jesus. But anyway, as we're on the NFL, as we wind this thing down, I don't know if you have enough picks to get us out of here or not. Danny, do you got anything you want to get in on before we get to the picks and get out of here?
Nah. I was going to say something.
Go ahead.
You don't have. You're probably going to get in all impact.
No.
I don't know how you don't give him 2 years, but you gave that before him 20 years. You see what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. We're only bringing in one guy 1 year and terminating because things didn't go well. When things didn't go well the past 5 or 6 years, but you kept the other guy around.
So define not going well. No, just in general. You said things didn't go well in the last 5 or 6 years. Like what's your basis of not going well? If I can respond.
I would say they're kind of, Cowboys have a high expectation. I understand. You want to make a play, you want to win your division, and honestly, I have to look it up. I don't know how many years you guys won the division, made the playoffs, but it didn't seem like you had the test that historically Cowboys fans want, right? I think you won maybe 1 or 2 playoff games. It seems like the last coach that was there, he wore out his weight. If I were a Cowboys fan, I would have been like, we peaked. We're not doing any better. Let's go on to move on to somebody else. And that's what they did with McCarthy. And so I think you should, firing a guy after 1 year, I'm a Brown. But McCarthy's a decent enough coach. He won a Super Bowl. So I say give him at least 2 or 3 years to see what he can do. This year was kind of crap because of COVID. You lost your quarterback. it hasn't been.
All right.
It's weird
Fair
having
enough.
this conversation
But
between two
here's
Super Bowl
the one thing that
quarterbacks.
I'll say. Yeah. Well, here's what I'll
Or
say.
coaches, I mean.
I think it was time to move on from Jason Garrett, but I don't want to say in the grand scheme of things didn't go as well, because he had some pretty good success, and I can say this without a shadow of a doubt: if Jason Garrett is the Dallas Cowboys this year, they're a lot better than they are right now, right? So, and that's one thing that he had: a structure. Players played hard for him, right? And I do think it was time to go. But my thing about McCarthy is everything that he said they would do, he hasn't done, right? And I just don't know how we can say we're going to give him another year. And I get why you're saying that, but if he hasn't made any adjustments this year, if he hasn't made any changes this year, why would you expect him to make those next year? What's going to be better? Like, there's nothing that he has shown me that gives me hope that it's going to be better. And if you go back to his last year, coach, remember he got fired from his last job because he was going down, right? Everybody wanted to get on Aaron Rodgers, say Aaron Rodgers got rid of McCarthy, blah, 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 blah. Last couple of years in Green Bay weren't good. So he hasn't come back up. So it's not like he's some brand new coach, right? Like, I would never say get rid of a coach in 1 year for a brand new coach. But this guy's been around. He won a Super Bowl a long time ago. It's what have you done for me lately? And what he's done is nothing. Right. And what I'm saying is that I'm just talking about not taking control of the team, right? Like, so he must be okay with the way things are going. So he must be okay with the way the defense is playing, right? You know, he must be okay with the defensive coordinator. So it's okay to have the worst defense in the NFL. It's okay to have the worst defense in the history of the team. That's okay because you haven't made any changes, right? And yeah, you cut 2 players, big whoop, right? So that's just where I'm coming from on that. But I understand what you're saying about, you know, it's tough to get rid of someone in 1 year because that's typically what you don't want to do. And it probably won't happen because Jerry Jones typically doesn't do that. And I like the fact that he stuck with Jason Garrett to try to put some stability in there. And I think maybe he waited a year too long, but, you know, I guarantee you if COVID would have hit last year, he wouldn't have been gone. But I feel you, though. I understand where you're coming from. All right, Sean, hit us.
First game, boys. Tennessee at Indianapolis. Danny.
The home team.
Indy.
I'm going Indianapolis as well. Patrick?
Chalk it up. Chalk it up. Colts all day. They're about to run away with that division.
I agree. I'll tell you what, though. They are expecting Rivers to play because he's got that toe. But if he doesn't play, I don't know if Brissett can get the W, so I might want to flip that.
Still gonna win.
All right.
Still going to win.
I like your confidence there, buddy. Next game, you got the Kansas City Chiefs versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and Tom Brady's just looking for a win any way he can get it right now. He can't beat a good team. Patrick.
Pat, my homeboy.
It's a weird line.
That's
Danny.
all I need to say.
Yeah, I'm going to go KC.
That's a thought.
Chiefs.
You know, it's calling me crazy, but this line's only 3.5 in the Chiefs' favor.
Don't worry about the line.
I gotta follow the line. Vegas is smarter than me. I'm not ashamed to admit that Las Vegas is smarter than me. You know what?
The Chiefs don't play D, so yeah, it's gonna be a small line. They don't play D. Go ahead and take the Bucks if you want. Go ahead and take the Bucks if you want.
How I'm taking the Bucks. Taking them all day.
I'm so glad you did.
Good. Why? TB gonna light it up. Monday night game, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, hold on. I'm sorry.
The home team in that game.
we gotta do Sunday night game first. No, we do the primetime games here. Like it or not, we do the primetime games.
I said who's the home team. That's all I asked you.
Oh, we're going. Oh, sorry. I thought you said we're doing that game. I apologize. All right. Bears, Packers. Bears at the Packers Sunday night. Danny.
Yeah.
So, just so everybody knows, Mitchell Trubisky. Danny, you said Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah. Yeah. All right. So Trubisky is back this week with Nicky Foles being hurt. Remember that time that somebody on our page said that Trubisky was a good quarterback? Anyways, moving on, Patrick.
He's the only one that said it though, but that's okay though.
Hey, man. Listen, man. Hey, listen. I'm right here. I'm on the line. What you want from me? I admit it. I was wrong. My man can't. Dude can't play. Listen, dude can't play. All right, I was wrong. I'll say it.
No problem. Give me AR-12 in them. They're gonna light it up. They might put up 50 on them.
I'm with y'all. They are 12. Next, we got the Monday night game. The game I'm going to be so excited not to watch. Seattle at the Eagles. I'm going to go first. The Eagles are about to lose by like 30 points, like shrill rap. Oh, my God. It's going to be so bad. I mean, that line's – it's funny. It's funny because the line's 5.5 in Seattle's favor, which is screaming Seattle. If you want to bump that line up to make more money, put that at 10. They're winning easily by 10 points. Easily. Danny.
Yeah. Seattle. Philadelphia's no shot.
Oh, dude. It's Phillies. We're dead in the water. We might not win another game the rest of the year. Like real rap. We might not win a single game of the rest of the year.
I understand how bad things are, but I don't want to say they don't have a shot because last time I looked, Seattle still ain't playing no defense. And Philadelphia has enough to score with Seattle. But it's going to come down to the quarterback. And Russ is head and shoulders above Carson, so I got to go with Seattle.
Through 12 weeks, Carson has had one game where he hasn't turned the ball over. I ain't trusting that. Listen. I feel you. I'm just saying. Dallas didn't have a turnover until they played us. You're welcome. All right? You know what I mean? Like, you guys didn't have a turnover when you played us. And y'all got 2 the same night. You're welcome. Like, you feel me? Like, I got less faith in Carson. Oh my God, dude! Listen, I love Carson, I really do, and I'll defend him. But he looks like he's got the yips. He looks like he's playing with he's like gun shy this year because he doesn't trust anybody he's playing with. All right, last game. We got the Tuesday night game now. Hopefully, Ravens versus Steelers, and I don't even know if I want to call this one, dude, because I don't know who's playing on both sides. I don't know if the game's even going to get played.
We're all taking Pittsburgh. Nobody's taking Baltimore without Lamar Jackson.
Bro, Lamar might be cleared by then.
Yeah, he's already ruled out.
All right.
He can't. He's in danger of missing the next 2 games.
Good.
Actually.
They might not make the playoffs.
They might not. Good news for Cleveland. Good news for Miami.
That might be good news for Miami. Yeah, I'm about to say Miami. That's great news for Miami. Go ahead. Play us out.
Good news for the. All right, we gone.
Hate to be the bear bad news, but the show's over. Hope you enjoyed it. We can sit and debate and go back and forth all day long. Shout out to Serena Williams. Ain't another place to hold it down like the way that we hold it down. Won't hesitate to Been my last song that you ain't know it then, bet you know it now. Pat and Sean with the dynamic duo, one of the best show around. Reverse 360 windmill, Vince Carter when we put it down. You're now rocking with the major leagues. Show we hitting like Mike Trout. These other guys try and ride the wave, but not today they get wiped out. Cause we on a whole nother level than them. They follow the trends, we the one that set them. Later smack them like Stone Cold, and that's the bottom line until we stunning something. These lame stations ain't saying nothing. They just talk to hear their voices something. No better place to come vibe out the Hodge Podge Sports Show. Keep that heat coming like Palomalo in the backfield. Relax, chill, everything covered. When we move full head of steam, please off the track when the train coming. Want to thank y'all for tuning in. A good time, what it's all about. Hope to catch y'all here next week. Same time, we'll be zoning out. And we encourage you to call. Be opinionated, bring it on. Just make sure that you're ill prepared and come hard and not at all. Verbal warfare, talking sports here. Ding, ding, let's get it on. And I let you stay instead. You ain't saying jack, keep calm and carry on. 24 on that jersey. Feeling something like Kobe. With a few seconds on that game clock. Down two, but who hurry? Throwing L's to the competition. It make me sick to see us winning. Black Mamba mentality. See it better me and go get it. Yeah.
Hey, what up, Ted?
You know how we do, man.
Hodge
Hey, yo, Sean, what up?
What up?
Hey, yo, Pat, what up?
Log on to the
Well, thank y'all
website.
for tuning in, man.
ArenaEats.app for the ultimate fan
Hodge Podge
experience.
Sports Show, baby.
Boom. At your favorite sports venue. Arena Eats mobile app. Pre-order, express pickup, and in-seat delivery. How do you place your order? We'll be back next week, y'all. Same time, same channel.
Yo.
We gone.